Sidelined with Jack, Tom and Kato.
Welcome to the first ever Sideline podcast.
Yeet.
I'm Jack, and as per usual, I'm with Tom and Christian.
Tom.
Hello.
Tom and Christian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's who?
My name is Tom. I'm white.
My name is Christian. I'm black.
Christian is Asian. Japanese heritage. Jack.
Ablation,
Thanks
if you will.
No black in him. Jack, what have we got today?
Why are you hurrying me up, Tom?
Just because this is a pointless
Don't hurry
conversation
me
we're
up.
having right now.
Yeah, it is. You're not wrong. So,
Yes.
week one of the AFL finals wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
Kicked off on Thursday night with the Tigs
The Tigs and the Hawkers.
and the Hawkers.
Yes. I
What
think
did
we
we
all
think?
we all knew who was going to win that one.
Really?
Yes.
I thought a lot of people thought that Hawthorn might upset them
Why?
because they were Hawthorn fans.
That's a good point.
Hawthorn just played very disappointing.
Yeah.
They were just not good. Their senior players didn't turn up. Yeah, just very.
I think Hardwick outcoached because
You think it was the coaching that drew him over the line? Not
I
the
think
players.
that with Hawthorn, if you stop Bruce and you stop Gunston, they have no way to kick goals. Can you believe that Gunston and Bruce have kicked 100 goals between them this season?
Wow, it's not that much.
That's a lot of goals.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
this
is.
year it is.
It is.
100 in a season collectively.
But that doesn't happen anymore.
Fair.
Who was? What did Jack Rewalt get? The Coleman, 61 or something.
65 at least.
Exactly 65,
Something like that.
That's a
and
good
they kicked
point.
100 together.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. You
You
stop
win.
them,
Yep.
they can't kick
Yep.
goals,
Fair play.
and that's what they did. That's what the Tigs did, and that was over.
That's all it took.
That was the end of it.
Yep.
Yep.
What was good is seeing McIntosh play forward. Kicked 3 goals.
Oh yeah, not bad.
3.
And that
Yeah.
little Jamrioli
Oh,
decided to turn up for once. Then-
How many did Jackie Revolt get?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
We don't know. That's well prepared.
Oh
he got
yeah.
One or none.
Yeah,
One.
I don't think he did very well. We would have been talking about him if he kicked a
You
few.
know who didn't do well in finals? Buddy Franklin.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to move on to now. I was going to move on to Sydney GWS, and our All-Australian captain apparently getting 8 disposals and kicking 0.1.
Wow.
Yeah,
Disappointing.
yeah, pretty shit.
Who was it? Phil Davis.
Phil
was
Davis killed him.
It? Animal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, this is good.
Absolute animal.
I don't know what else to say.
In that game as well.
Well,
the Toby
personally,
Green.
Well, personally, I think GWS Richmond are going to be in the granny together.
Yeah, well,
Change my mind.
it could be. Yeah. I'm not going to change your mind just
GWS
yet.
have to beat Collingwood.
Easy
Yeah.
work. Easy work.
Yeah, I think GWS will actually beat Collingwood.
Not actually easy work, but they'll win.
Staying on the GWS Sydney
Like,
game.
if I had a gun to my head, I'd say GWS.
Staying on the GWS Sydney game.
Yep.
What do we think of the Toby Green kick?
Get rid of it. Get rid of him. Suspended.
It should be illegal. I don't know why that's not a high contact. It's studs in the hip, in the rib cage. I don't know why that's not high
Yeah,
contact.
it's not high contact because there's no contact to the head
Well-
actually, or the shoulders or above. But
I was listening
Contact
today.
To the body seems pretty high to me.
I was listening today on the radio that the rule is if it's 2 motions that it's a kick, which means it's illegal. And I definitely think that you can't jump up with your foot out like that.
He kicks someone in the side.
He
and
goes
marks the
up,
ball.
then he puts his foot out. So
it wasn't the first time he did it during the game as well. He did it to Alia first as well.
he did it 3 times in the game.
Was that racially motivated?
No. Let's hope not. But he is the type of guy that would probably do something like that. He's a scumbag.
Yes.
Yeah, so last time when he did that to Dalhouse and kicked him fair in the face,
Yeah, I remember that one.
he got
yeah.
a fine.
Yeah.
$1,500.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a face and a rib cage? Huh? Riddle me that one, AFL.
Other than a nose and eyes.
You got titties and a rib cage.
Could be, yeah. That could be the only difference. Moving on to K-Dogs boys.
Hey, gone the days.
Melbourne and the disgraceful
Absolute-
Cats.
Absolute walk in the park for them. Absolute
Ah.
It was. You dominated.
Well, they think they dominated, but I think
Wasteful
also,
scoring.
yeah, I think if they played anyone who was actually decent, they would have been challenged in the second quarter because they kicked 1-10, and any other good side would have come back and taken advantage of that
Yes,
ineffectiveness.
definitely.
But what do you think about the Cats? Do you think they should pack it in and start rebuilding, or do you think they've still
Oh,
got
they
a
have
chance?
to. They have to.
I think they should have
Rebuild,
done it a long time
100%.
ago.
Yes.
I think that they topped up too much with the free agency ones that came in. I think Hawthorn did sort of the same thing, kept topping up, and now that everything other than a small bunch of about 4 or 5 players is just shit underneath that.
And who are those for?
Ablett, Hawkins, Danger, Selwood.
Perfect.
Even Duncan was shit. Harry Taylor was shit.
Being at the game, watching Tim Kelly play, he needed more midfield time.
Oh yeah, well, Tim Kelly. I think Tim Kelly is one of the only people who's actually come up from the youth and the defender
Stewart.
Stewart.
Australian.
Yeah. So those two are the only 2 younger players that have come through.
I want Tim Kelly to leave. I want him to go to Freo and get more midfield time and play with Walters.
He could come to Carlton.
Yeah,
would be
many
good.
people could come to Carlton.
We want him.
Yeah. Dylan Shield to Carlton. What do you think about that, Tom?
I'd take anyone at this point.
Yeah.
Anyone. I'll take Fev back. Anyone.
Is that confirmed? Dylan Shield at Carlton?
Definitely not.
No, it's just a rumour. But then, Saturday night in Perth,
What
West
happened?
Coast versus Collingwood.
No. Oh, ooh, yes,
Yeah.
it did happen.
It did happen. It was a good game, but I think the umpires got involved a bit too much.
I actually didn't watch too much of that one. What happened? What happened with that?
Once again, as per usual, over in Perth, the crowd gets involved, get a bit rowdy, and then the
So you're
umpires
saying
start
the umpires
blowing the whistle too much.
played to the crowd a bit.
They do over in West Coast. I think the Collingwood fans would agree with me, but I don't think they were as bad as the Collingwood fans think they were.
It
But
wasn't too
they
bad, it
were-
was pretty fair.
But I think they were bad. I think, yeah, that just happens when you go over to West Coast, and I guess it's sort of fair because then they have to come over here and play the grand final at the MCG no matter what, even if they finish on top. So, on the topic of rowdy crowds, the women's US Open final. Did you guys hear about this?
Naomi Osaka versus Serena Williams and the violation of what was it? Coaching violation on her coach.
Yeah. So what happened was Naomi's a 20-year-old who was born in Japan and grew up in America, idolizing Serena Williams. And so Naomi outplayed her for the whole first set, and then that got Serena a bit fired up. She got a bit angry about that. Then her coach from the crowd was doing hand signals to her, which is obviously a violation in tennis. 'Cause
To
you can't
Serena.
coach to Serena, yeah.
Was Serena
So-
losing at this point?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
so-
one set down.
One set
And
down,
did
yeah.
Serena win the match?
No, but we're getting to that, Tom.
Okay.
Yeah, so she got a violation for that. Then the game went on. She was frustrated, and then Osaka won another set, and Serena smashed her racket. So she
won another game. She didn't win the set.
she won another game.
Yep.
And then she smashed her racket, and then she starts yelling at the chair umpire
Saw that.
3 times, gets another violation, and then she makes claims of sexism towards her from the umpire, which I think is kind of weird saying
When
that
she could play
when
the
it's
race
2
card,
women.
Yeah.
When she could play the rice card and when it's 2 women, because that doesn't make any sense.
That was three strikes and you're out.
Yeah.
She lost a whole game.
But
was it?
I saw the video.
Yeah.
Why did she yell she's never cheated? She didn't cheat in that game, did she?
It wasn't her that cheated. It was her coach.
Yeah, she was saying that she's never done that and she's never...
It was very obvious though. As soon as the coach said to do whatever he said, she did it and got a game out of it
Yeah.
instantly. And the ref obviously knew.
Yeah.
He's a good coach.
He was telling her to
Well,
go,
yeah.
go to the net.
He's
or
the coach of
hit
arguably
again,
the best tennis player of all time.
One of the greatest athletes of all time.
Debatable.
No, it's not.
Anyway, so Osaka wins,
Yeah.
gets up on the stage, and the American fans start booing her,
Oh.
which was pretty wrong.
I think they
I
were
would
booing,
think.
they were booing the ref.
Yeah,
But
but
it
I
came
would
off,
still
came off
say-
very badly, yes.
yeah, I would say in a sport like tennis, you can't boo the winner of the, especially when it's a 20-year-old who's come out of nowhere and beaten the best
What
of all
was her
time.
reaction, the 20-year-old's?
Well, she started crying.
Tears of joy for winning? Or?
No,
She,
Oh.
she didn't
Well,
take
she was-
too much. She didn't take too much into
she
it.
didn't look like
Yeah.
she was happy, but she was.
Yeah, that would suck. You just beat the number one and you get booed for it.
Yeah,
And
and
she clearly won it fairly. Anyway,
She-
she was
yeah,
winning.
she
She was
won.
winning it.
well,
so-
she won anyway. But she said, "I know everyone was cheering for her. I'm sorry about how the match ended. Thank you for watching."
Yep.
Which says to me that she thought that maybe the match was decided by that, which is wrong
That's very wrong.
because she killed her. in
That's
the
a
first.
great feat beating Serena.
And then
Williams.
Serena ruined it. She had a sook.
So you're not on her side at all.
Apologized
Not
at
at
the
all.
end,
But
and
it wasn't Serena's fault.
Yeah, I think she apologized to
And she told
the
the fans.
opponent.
She told
She
the
was a
fans
kid.
to stop. She told the fans to stop booing.
Yeah,
Like she tried to calm the environment.
yeah. But she was still off about the umpire the whole time.
Yeah.
She just
Fucking-
give it up.
A bit Joel
She
Selwood-esque.
Joel
She
Selwood-esque,
aped
yeah,
it out.
correct. So Americans being aggressive has been quite huge in the media
Americans?
recently
Why? Why Americans?
because of the Just Burn It campaign. Have you guys heard about this?
You
If
telling
you
me
haven't,
something
you're
about
living
it
under a rock, dude.
with
Yeah.
Nike.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick takes a knee during the national anthem.
Unnecessary.
Black Lives Matter.
What's it gonna do?
He's always done it though, so I don't.
But,
I can't say too much about it.
and because of it, he's lost his position.
Yes.
So Nike have gone and created their new ad
Very brave.
and made him the poster boy with the quote, "Believe in something even if it means losing everything."
Could promote terrorism.
Okay,
That's
Elaborate.
serious.
elaborate on that.
If you're a Muslim and you believe that you need to kill all the infidel white people, and that if that means risking everything to do it, then you do it.
Interesting.
Suicide bombers.
That's an interesting take
That's
on it.
one take on it.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
that's actually one I haven't heard before. I've heard a lot of takes on
That's
this,
where my
but that is not one that
as soon as
I've
I read
heard
that,
of.
that's where my mind went to
Straight away, just
straight away.
terrorists. Oh, mate. Anyway, so the Americans, their mind went straight to let's get all our Nike shit and burn it, which I thought was probably some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
I
in my
heard their
life.
stocks dropped down to 2%, but then they went up 30%.
Yeah, so
What?
so they started burning the shit, and then Nike's stocks went down, and literally a day later or something, Nike's sales went up and their stocks went up.
How?
Why?
Why? Because the people who agree with Kaepernick, aka most of the world, other than patriotic Americans
Yes.
and Tom,
I agree with Kaepernick. I
but
totally
you just
agree.
called him a dickhead.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I say
said
the
he
word
was a
dickhead?
terrorist.
You said there was no.
I didn't call
said
him
there
a
was
terrorist.
no
I didn't say
reason.
anything. I said that was dramatic and it's not going to do anything taking a knee. I didn't call him a retard or a
Yeah,
dickhead.
okay, but saying that that's not going to do anything doesn't mean that he's not taking the first step. Because people do need to take the first step. Because
What's he
if he's not
taking a
going
knee
to take
for?
the first
What's he
step,
taking a knee for?
because he doesn't agree with what the police are doing
With what?
and the government, the
With
Black Lives
what?
Matter.
And what are they doing?
What are they doing?
Yes.
Well, that's not my area of expertise.
Pretty sure he was always doing it. Like even before it was the police, he just didn't agree with America because he was black.
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like an Indigenous Australian not standing up for the Australian anthem or singing along with it because they don't believe in it. Kind of.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
what I was going to bring up.
That's what it is.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, how would you guys feel if, let's just say, an Aboriginal didn't agree with Australia Day, or didn't agree with the Australian government, and on Grand Final Day or Anzac Day or something,
If they didn't stand
took
for
a
the anthem.
took a knee during the national anthem.
Man, they can do what they want to do, but I'm not taking a knee.
Yeah,
And if they try to impose something that means I have to take a knee, then I'm not gonna like it.
But would you feel the same way as the Americans? Would you want to?
I don't think they should really.
Or-
If he wants to take a knee, I think they should let him.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
think
exactly. It's his own opinion.
His
If
opinion,
he wants
right,
To do
yes.
that, he can do that. Yeah.
yeah? So you wouldn't
Whether or not I
start
agree
death
that
threats
whether I
and
not
start
agree
burning
that
your Nike
it's-
shit.
does much, that's up to him.
Yeah.
It's on him. He was picked up by another club, wasn't he?
No,
No.
not yet.
I'm pretty sure they
I
were
don't think
going
so.
to, but yeah, it
But they
wasn't
didn't.
confirmed. No.
No, trust me, because all these people have been saying, like, I'm pretty sure there's a job at, Chipotle.
He's got a hell of an afro as well. Has anyone seen it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Big.
Is that why you associated him with a terrorist?
Wow.
No terrorist in history has had an afro,
Yeah, exactly.
especially like Kaepernick's. It's fly.
It's it's pretty good. So the NFL actually kicked off,
What do you mean? Kicked? Oh, the season
Started.
kicked off. Mitch got angry or something.
and I think it was 4 or 5 more players took a knee during the national anthem.
What race were they?
They were black.
Oh, good on him.
Yeah,
African American.
but yeah. So I just thought that was funny that they thought Nike. Well, all these patriotic Donald Trump supporters thought that burning their Nike things was going to end Nike, end Kaepernick, and end all this Black Lives Matter shit. But it didn't do any of
Do
that.
you think they thought it was going to end that, or do you think they just didn't want to associate with Nike?
Well,
If
why
they
would
were
you
burning-
burn your clothes, and why would you start a boycott Nike movement?
I'm pretty sure all those patriotic people just didn't want to associate with Nike. They didn't want to.
No, but they
They didn't think it's going to end the brand if they.
no,
burnt
but
the
they
Nike.
wanted to everyone to boycott Nike,
They
which
want
means that they
everyone to
wanted their
boycott it.
stocks and their sales to plummet,
Yes, but
which didn't happen.
they're retarded if they think doing that was going to.
But that's my point. They are retarded. That's what I'm trying to get to here.
Yes, comes full circle.
I just think that they're like stupid. Like, why would you buy like $150 plus shoes? Every
Not
single
cheap.
Nike shoe is $150 plus, unless you get them like clearance,
Mhm.
and you're burning them.
Yeah.
Who is that helping? Certainly not helping you. And Nike's sales went up, so
Joke's on them.
correct.
But then that still comes back to the promotion of Nike.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because Nike have been in the news the whole time.
No, I'm saying about the people burning their shoes.
What do you mean?
What was the motto again?
Wait, what?
What was their motto?
Believe in something,
Believe in something.
even if it means sacrificing everything.
Yeah, they're sacrificing their shoes.
Sacrificing
'Cause
their
they
shoes because
believe that Nike
that's
is-
actually a fair point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's actually another way of thinking of the motto. But maybe that's what their intention was the whole time.
Well, whatever they've done, everyone's thinking about Nike now. So
Yeah.
I don't think
Free
Nike
promotion.
cares if people burn their products because those people have bought the products. They don't need the products anymore.
I know, that's my point. I'm 100% thinking Nike have come out of this with this whole campaign, and they've done a fantastic job, because all the people that they're alienating, anyone who's against that campaign, like essentially they're in the wrong, because what he's doing is he's standing for Black Lives Matter, and if you completely disagree with
But
Black
then-
Lives Matter, then
But
then that's their opinion as well. So you kind of just gotta.
but
let
yeah,
them be,
the
I guess.
Americans who are burning
But
their
my point
things,
is
their
like-
opinion is they find it disrespectful that someone will take a knee during an anthem that you have to stand for.
But then again, you can also compare the fact that he's taking a knee comparing to policemen killing black people, and that
Yeah, but
hasn't
then
changed.
that goes
Nothing
into that
has
whole
changed.
debate of like the black on black violence and all that. So we don't want to
Yeah,
don't want
but
to
then
get into that.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like, that's a rabbit hole.
but he
Let's
wasn't.
not get too political.
He wasn't saying that it was white people that were doing this. He was saying the police force are doing this. So it doesn't matter if they're black or white. He's saying the police are in the wrong.
for killing black people.
Yeah, well, you've seen all these people that have just
Yeah,
been
but
shot.
I don't want to sound like a dick, but the videos I've seen of police shootings of people robbing stores and doing all that stuff. So
Yeah, but okay. So
no one's walking down the street getting shot.
if you're robbing a store in Australia,
Australia is different. We have
why is it
different gun
different?
laws.
'Cause
Huh?
we don't catch them.
No,
We have
no,
different gun laws.
because if someone has a gun in Australia, or has a knife, or tries to attack a police officer, that is when they can do that.
Yes.
The police officers in these videos aren't being attacked, and they shoot them. You can see in the footage they aren't.
Someone
they
might pull
aren't
out a
under
gun,
threat at
someone
all,
might pull out a knife, someone
but they
might...
don't though.
Yeah, but in America they have open gun laws, so you can have a gun. Most people could have a gun in their waistband, and a cop wouldn't know it. It could take a split second before they get shot at.
And
That's why they're on edge.
why is that a thing? Because of who?
Gun laws.
Because of gun laws.
And because of who?
America.
Essentially.
The Constitution.
The government.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Colin Kaepernick is standing for everything against that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
So in other words,
he's
I'm
not
with Colin.
standing. He's taking.
He's
a knee.
taking a knee with them. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been good. We actually got into some non-sports
I hate
topics
politics.
there. We got into politics, but sometimes sports and politics are quite linked.
What?
And I think we'll end it there for this week. It's been a pretty quiet week of sports, so I think we've done a pretty good job. We'll see you in a fortnight.